Hey everyone, it's Mike. Before we start the episode, I have a cool question to ask. Do you own a brewery? Do your customers love trivia as much as I do? Well, then you better listen up, because Geeks Who Drink weekly trivia nights are the cornerstone of event programming for over 650 breweries and bars nationwide. Geeks Who Drink trivia is consistently fun and low-effort way to build a community of regulars, because we all need our norms, cliffs, and all that, but we want to bring more people in as well. So you can even turn that slow weeknight into the busiest night of the week. So get started with this exclusive offer for my Taproom listeners and get your first quiz night free. Go to geekswhodrink.com/taproom and enter promo code Taproom. That's geekswhodrink.com/taproom, promo code Taproom. And now onto the episode. All right, and we're back. This is episode 87 of the Taproom Podcast, and I'm your host, Mike. Yeah, it's Sunday morning. Easy like so. No, I'm not going to do that. 9:40 is the time. Don't know why I gave you the time, but I am giving you the time. Fun weekend. GABF was this weekend. Alpha King was Friday. So I'm going to start the episode. Well, before we get into that, this episode is with John, Nathan, and Abraham. So John Kennedy from Are You Brewing, and then we have Nathan McCusker from Angry Horse and Abraham Mercado from La Bodega. So it's another Brewers Roundtable. Nathan was in it for about the first half hour, I want to say, or right around there. He had to get going, but it was honestly a fun conversation, and honestly hanging out with them, and John and Abraham, been on the show multiple times. It was just really fun, and kind of hearing what goes into their process and stuff like that. So it was a fun Brewers Roundtable. But yeah, that'll be in a few minutes. But yeah, GABF, I want to talk about that. Shout out to a lot of the breweries that won golds and silvers and stuff like that. But like everywhere won. Green Cheek, and I'm sure I'm going to miss a couple, because if I went through the whole list of everyone that won, that might take like 20 minutes. But yeah, everywhere. Green Cheek, Highland Park. Always shout out to Highland Park. If you guys want to be on the show, just throwing that out there. Ism, Trademark, Ambitious Ales, Pizza Port, Rip, Farfield. Super stoked for everyone that won. But honestly, I'm really stoked about Alpha King, Jared Larson of Bearded Tang. They won Alpha King. They are bringing the crown back to Stanton. So just really happy for them, super proud. That's so cool. And it's funny how we were talking about Alpha King, a few weeks ago when we did our Brewers Roundtable. So just really happy for them. I think that's so cool. Like, what are the odds? I was scrolling through Instagram and all of a sudden I was like, holy shit. I couldn't fucking believe it. That was awesome. So just super stoked. And what a deserving guy to win something like that. Just a really good dude. And honestly, he's helped me set up multiple episodes with Dario and with Danny. So super grateful for them. And man, I honestly can't wait to hear from him and talk about how everything leading up to that, and hearing his name, what that felt like and stuff like that. I feel like that would have been pretty freaking cool. So yeah, super stoked for him. Let's see what else we got. Oh, also, T-shirts, they go on sale once a week. I'm usually around $22. I think you could also get hoodies for $34 or something like that. So if you want to support the show, shout out to everyone that's been getting T-shirts. Loser Fun bought one the other day. Obviously, my boy Art, LA Brew Life, wore his last week, and I posted it on there. So if you do get a shirt, make sure you tag the Taproom, and I'll go ahead and I'll repost it. Okay. But yeah, if you want to support the show, you can get a T-shirt. Also, if you won't, if times are tough, I get it. But you can also subscribe to the podcast on your favorite platform, stuff like that. You can leave a 5-star review. Anything like that helps. So I really appreciate it. All right, enough of that. Playoff baseball. Dodgers beat the Padres. So Dodgers Mets. So New York LA matchup should be. The Mets kind of feel like a team of destiny. I don't know. We'll see. Yankees, and then it's Yankees Guardians. We all know what baseball wants. Baseball wants Dodgers Yankees in the World Series. They want Judge versus Ohtani. That's going to be the biggest thing. And I know everyone's making like those memes about Ohtani. It's like 2 batters away, or it could be like 9 batters away because maybe he just, popped out or something like that. So I don't know. I just think it's funny that baseball is just, no, I'm not going to say that. But college football was this weekend. Hockey's back. Man, some really good college football games. Oregon, Ohio State game. Man, what a game. And I'm glad Oregon won. Even though I do like Ohio State. I really do like Ohio State. They're just kind of like, at least someone's doing something that came from the Pac-12. SC's got their 3rd loss already. But honestly, a hell of a game against Penn State, too. I was kind of surprised. I think Lincoln Riley kind of blew that game. That's just my opinion. Let's see who else. Bama survived another scare. Almost lost to South Carolina. And South Carolina's not bad. They've played LSU well. They've played Bama well. So, not bad at all. What else we got? Texas, Oklahoma's just, I'm sorry, they're just not good. Texas looked really good. Man, I'm excited to see how, as college football keeps on progressing, it's going to be good. But yeah, I think being an SC fan, I'm like, dude, I don't know what's going on with Lincoln Riley. I feel like some of the play calling is really bad sometimes. The clock management was terrible yesterday before overtime. But I don't get paid to make those calls. So, oh well. But yeah, hockey's back. Let's see here. I'm going to get into polls and questions. I'm going to do that after I'm going to do that in the outro. So what we're going to do now is we will jump into the interview and stay tuned for the outro. Cheers. All right, guys, we're back in the tap room, and I'm your host, Mike. And I have another Brewers Roundtable today. Brewers Roundtable number 2. I have John Kennedy, Nathan McCusker, and Abraham Mercado. John from Are You Brewing, Nathan from Angry Horse, and Abraham from La Bodega, who's been on the show a few times. Oh, both of you guys have been on the show a few times. Even just guest appearances on the show. Right. What's going on, fellas?
Another day in paradise.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, another day.
John had to think about it a little bit.
It's great. Great.
Oh, yeah. So, obviously, GABF's coming up, but I wanted to, delve into that, but let's start with that. Let's start with GABF because it is when this releases, it'll be the week after GABF. So what are you guys entering? Oh, do you want to start? Who wants to start?
I entered a few.
Okay.
I kind of went ballsy with it. Just wanted to see if I could actually do it. Get 8 beers in.
Okay.
Ended up with 7.
Dang.
Which was a fun 2-3 weeks. But yeah, a lot of my cores, friendly pills, green leaf, color, your energy, lavender saison, Houston, I am the problem, which is a double hazy, and the Frigate Porch.
Okay.
One. I think that's 7.
Nice.
Yeah, just to see what happens.
Yeah. It's exciting though. You've got to send them over.
Most of the time, I've done it either World Beer Cup or GABF on kind of those core beers, mostly just to get the feedback, because that's kind of the most important thing to me. Is is this good, or are these judges going you should quit?
Yeah.
Go learn to be a plumber or something.
Yeah.
And actually just work 5 days a week. It'd be great.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I'm doing. Just see what happens.
Okay. And how about you, Nathan?
We actually didn't enter anything this year. We're planning on entering into the California Wet Hop Festival again this year, which we won last year.
Yeah.
But we've just been so busy. We haven't had time to slow down and package and enter. But next year,
we're going. A lot, dude.
Yeah, no, it really is a lot.
It's crazy.
Next year, we want to go strong, though. We definitely want to enter the show, our rice lager. We get such great acclaim for it locally that we want to enter that and see what we end up placing with that. Or get some feedback at least. But yeah, this year we kind of skipped it. We just were focusing on distro and taproom sales.
Awesome.
Yeah, this year was my first year of entering, and I kind of used the John approach of I wanted to get as many out there as I possibly can to get the feedback.
Of course.
But I think there was 5, and I ended up submitting 4.
Okay.
Because one I just was not confident with. And so same thing as John. It was our flagship beers. So I think we entered our Hazlitt, Hazy IPA, our Buena, El Rey Mexican Lager, and our Mala Dark Lager.
Okay. Nice. That's exciting.
Yeah.
And so it's your first one. Is it
do you have a reason behind that, or you just weren't like last year? What happened?
Yeah, I mean, we're gonna hit year 3 in about Thanksgiving timeframe. So at year 1 is just trying to dial in the system, get my numbers, get my efficiencies, tinker with that. Year 2 is now adjusting the recipes and get them where I want them to be. And then I think now, if 2.5 is where now let's throw it out there and see what comes back, and see where we can improve, or as John said, do I need to quit and become a plumber, electrician? Or,
I mean, they do that. So I mean, you appreciate that, and it's
absolutely,
you just take it for what it is. I mean, you aren't supposed to say like what you do like on Instagram. You can't really post, but it's like, hey, if you made it to the 3rd or 4th round, you're like,
or even just make it to the table.
Okay, sure. There's some better than me. Duh.
Right.
I'm good with hearing just something like that. And if there's just a little knock for something, all right, let's go talk to everybody. And it's like, hey, this is what they said. What do you get? What does that mean? And then try to find how to tweak it in your brewery. I mean,
yeah. And so a good thing, I feel like, not segue, but a good thing to bring up when it comes to that part of it, like where, just sending it in just to see, where it lands. And like, say that you get like, when you guys got like a bronze or a silver or something, or gold or something like that, where like,
don't jinx us.
Oh no, I'm not on wood. I mean,
platinum.
But if like even just being on the table, the final table, I feel like is a big accomplishment. But if you kind of like how do you balance, like at that point you're like, all right, well, if I tweak it a little bit, it might be a little bit better next year. Maybe I win if you get a bronze or around the final table and you go to that next medal.
I mean, I'm not looking at it to win a medal.
Yeah.
It's great to have. It's great to put on the wall.
Yeah.
But it's just, am I doing it right?
Yeah.
Are your peers who are way better at drinking beer and tasting beer and picking it apart, that are better than me,
I understand.
What are they saying to where I can get my beer 1% better, 2% better?
Exactly.
And get that way. That's really
Mm-hmm.
all I want. Now, do you want a medal on your wall? We all do.
Oh, of course,
we all do. No
it's
one's going to say no.
Validity.
Yeah. You just feel like, okay, I'm doing something right. Ooh,
yeah.
Sweet. But then it's like literally after you get the medal, we come back the next day and you're making friendly pills. Like, well,
yeah.
All right, I'm right back to the grind.
Yeah. And I think that's what I mean, like, is like the balancing, like the creativity and the consistency part. Because like if you want to like almost, because you want to like if you do medal, or maybe say you got a bronze or you made it to the final table and you want to make it just a little bit better or something like that, like how do you balance that aspect? Because you also have your regulars that love it the way it is.
I think that's a challenge with setting the cores, is if you do get feedback consistently from all the judges, do you make tweaks based on that feedback, or do it's your top selling brand, you have a following from it, do you keep it the same? I think that would be the
credit card users, the cash people. Like, I mean, who's really right?
Yeah,
if you make a super cloying sweet pilsner and you're just plowing through it, and then you try to fix it to where it's not supposed to be, and then all of a sudden, oh, okay, friendly doesn't sell anymore or something like that.
Right.
Like, what do you do?
Yeah.
Is it better to be 100% true to style or true to brand, I guess is the argument.
That's a really good, that's a good point.
That's a different podcast.
Yeah.
There's got to be a happy medium somewhere in there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think you have to be true to style because you still are educating your crowd a little bit.
Yeah.
And they, you can have a diacetyl filled beer and they think, oh, this is the greatest apple flavored beer I've ever had. And you're like, well,
yeah, I guess it depends
but
I guess it depends on the feedback they're getting too. If they come back saying this is a diacetyl bomb, that's definitely one I would take a look at, even if it wasn't.
What if they like it?
Yeah, exactly.
That's and there's an education part that you got to do with your crowd, and that's where you find that balance between what these judges are saying or something, that feedback versus what's you're plowing through in your taproom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I think sometimes it's more important to be true to brand for some of the beers that you have, like East LA IPA. Are we going to change that brand if they come back saying, hey, we think that this is, X, Y, and Z, and it's consistent about the judges? It's just,
I mean, we all make,
this is the brand.
We all make enough beer that it's not, I don't think we're all going to get like that go be a plumber thing. But just those little tweaks that we want that, tweak East LA IPA to what they're saying, it's like, oh, that makes sense. To where you're going to notice it, Abraham's going to notice it, I'll notice it. You tell me.
Yeah.
The regular customer maybe the regular customers in there from day one may
notice a difference,
say something or notice something, but I don't think the majority are going to be, oh, this isn't the same. Take this back. Right. I'm like, oh man, you're using the same hops. It's everything. You just kind of tweak your water chemistry a little bit, or you dialed up the ABV or dialed it down. I mean, come on, they can't just stop coming in and buying it because of that. And we're not making you're not going to make a major tweak.
Not changing it to a stout.
Yeah.
Yeah. How about you, Abraham?
Yeah, no, I think there's a sort of hybrid approach here where I know as a brewer, if there is a flaw, so to speak, like diacetyl, then I can make that change. And I mean, if I see that change in the tap room, then it is sort of an educational opportunity there and figuring out. Although, I think the real challenge is not serving diacetyl beer. I think let's try to avoid that, right? But and people sometimes appreciate that, right? Some folks want to come in there and just have some beers and have a good time, and other folks want to come in here and really appreciate the craft. And so it's really who's a crowd that you're focusing on, who's a crowd that you want to spend that energy on, and sort of that's how we try to dissect it with the training with our staff, and that's a big challenge because not everyone is a beer nerd like we are, like the four of us in this room are, or I should say five. Yeah. But like I said, it does present that sort of that opportunity to open up the door of let's have a conversation about beer, and if this was sort of the style that you like, let me introduce you to another beer that we have that's more true to brand, that's going to have similar flavors like a Hefeweizen or something of that nature, where the banana and the Chloe, that is what you want in that type of beer, right?
100%. So, and it's almost like, who do you cater to? Do you cater to the masses, or do you cater to like your Norms and Cliffs, like from Cheers and stuff? And I feel like that's probably a tough decision for all three of you to make, because you're like, what do we, do we go with something that's more popular, or do we brew something that we want to brew?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's an interesting dialogue through the Master Brewers a couple of years ago, where they were talking about the migration of brands over time, and like the strategic changes that you make to your brands and the core brands specifically, whether that's following the changes in the hop strains, as the hop strains are the flavor compounds are changing throughout the year. Do you keep the recipe the same with those hops, or do you change hops to be a little bit more strategic and get to the flavor profile you originally wanted? And I think this is kind of like along those lines. As long as you're making mindful decisions about what you're trying to accomplish with the beer, I don't think you can go wrong.
Yeah.
And if you're making a mindful decision to stay true to brand because that's your core beer, that's not necessarily wrong. But if you're making strategic changes to make it true to style versus true to brand, I don't think that's necessarily wrong either. As long as it's not a drift that you're making without making a decision.
Yeah.
And I think one of our biggest challenges as craft brewers is sort of replicating and keeping that consistency, right? Because as Nathan mentioned, every year the hop oils and profiles is going to change, right, with the seasons, and same thing with the malt, right? So looking at the COA or the what are the different nutrients and things that come in that malt one year versus another year, and then making those tweaks as well to try to keep it as consistent as possible. I mean, that's a massive challenge. I don't think we're not the big boys over here that can just copy paste and do it again and again and again,
Even I think, like, remember when shout out Tallboy Sunday, like when we were talking over there with them, and I think you mentioned it, John, you're like, man, that's probably one of the hardest things to do, is like to make sure it's the same in every state, in every country. Absolutely. What you're getting. Yeah. And that's difficult to do.
And every year that changes. I remember the year that there was a drought almost worldwide. The grain profile changed so drastically.
Yeah.
Then the Ukraine war started, and everybody had to switch away from grains like Wireman and trying to make the same beer with completely different grains. Yeah. It was challenging. I think a lot of us learned really quickly how to do analysis and triangle tests to find the grain that you want to replace the grain you could no longer get. So it was a fun time.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have any issue here admitting the fact that the first Buena lager that I made is completely different than what it was in the beginning because of that, because of the ingredients, because of the feedback, because of the, staying true to style versus brand.
Yeah.
And so, sometimes we have to sacrifice that. And, there's purists out there that don't budge on that. I don't know where my peers here stand on that, but I definitely was able to taste the difference in ingredients and having to make that change to get it to where I envisioned it to be, and what my customers and my cliffs, as you say, also can enjoy.
Yeah, because at that point you're dialing it in. Like you're trying to, because especially when you're coming to like opening your brewery, you want it to be, at its best.
Right. Absolutely.
And Buena's great. Forward. So,
right. Oh, thank you.
Kudos. One thing I wanted to ask you guys too is like, because I know we kind of talked about it in each of your episodes, like your craft beer journeys, but curious about like if there was a brewer or a brewery that kind of like influenced you, like when it came to wanting to open up a brewery. Nathan, we'll start with you.
Yeah, I've talked about it on a few different podcasts and shows, but Eagle Rock Brewing, which I'm so sad that they're now closed. I look to them as mentors even after we opened. They are the reason that we started a brewery. I was learning how to homebrew when they were going through the process of opening, and had a blast chatting with them and drinking in their tap room. And when I was working with a nonprofit, we'd go and just hang out in their tap room and do our calls from their tap room at times and our emails. And I think that is probably the number one brewery that got me to want to open a brewery. And then, over the years, just a ton of influences throughout the years, but they were the brewery that got us to open. And I think that's one for several of us. And I think that's why when they announced they were closing, it hit the industry so hard.
Yeah.
So big shout out to Eagle Rock and Jeremy team. Those guys are amazing.
For sure. When I heard they were closing, and then I think like the week before that, Lost Winds over in San Clemente was closing. I was like, motherfucker. I was like, because I was like, so Lost Winds, which now it's Judge Brewery, which is honestly really good beer. They had two of their IPAs, really good stuff. But you still kind of miss that, that initial thing. But yeah, Judge, they seem like they're doing a great job. How about you, John?
There's probably a bunch. Logsdon was kind of one of the first ones that when we were over at the ballroom, was just something completely different in what I've had.
Yeah.
So they were big just on that funk and understanding like, oh, this is what yeast does.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I thought it just fermented the sugar and then that was it. Like, no, that you can do. Yeah. El Segundo back in the day, when they just had that tiny, tiny little tap room, I went for a couple beer tastings there. Where they tried to do like the education thing. Obviously Monkish, back in a former job, I was doing deliveries for them in the distribution game. So you got to meet Henry when it was just that little room. Feminist and all those things were just different stuff that was just fun to drink. And then all of them they would answer a question left and right. I guess that what he's saying, Jeremy and Ting, I know them too from the distribution days, and they would just always answer a question, not look at it as competition or anything like that. They would just, sure, here's the knowledge, go do something with it. They wouldn't be shut off. So it's that. I can go on with. Even the guys like what was the head brewers over at Yorkshire? Remember when Yorkshire was there?
Andy.
Yeah, he was cool. There were so many. Evan at Noble and then Green Cheek. You just ask a question that he would answer. And that was a cool part. There's so many.
Yeah, and that's just the industry, right? It's I think that's not the it's the exception. It's more of the unwritten rule.
Yeah.
That you ask a question and they'll be more than happy to pick up the phone and call you.
Yeah, text away, something like that. It's just nice to have that. We all do it here with ourselves. So it's like, because one of us should know the answer.
Right.
I hope, maybe. Sometimes. Give me 10 minutes. Let me go text Jeremy. He knows.
If not, we know how to find the answer.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Yeah. One way or another, we'll figure it out.
That's right. No, but that's awesome though. I mean, and it's always cool to hear everybody's, different story. And like Abraham, how about for you? What was that like? Your influences?
I'm in the same boat with these guys. I mean, there's a ton, man, a ton of different breweries that influenced me. Early on, the one that I can just popped in my mind and I hadn't thought about in quite a while because I'm not a big IPA guy, more of a lagers.
Yeah,
is Alpine. That was the first. They had a Nelson IPA. Oh my, that thing was incredible. I was like, this is an actual IPA. It doesn't taste like, super bitter hops. Like, wow, this is actually refreshing and amazing. The classics like Lost Abbey, like they were cranking out back in the day. They were cranking out some beers that you just would never hear of. They had one called an Agave Maria, which was like a agave stout. It was just like these. I never understood how beer can taste like that, right?
Yeah.
And so another one that I was always there and then kind of would just talk to the owners was Indy Brewing, right? Because I grew up in East Los Angeles. They were in Boyle Heights. Wow, there's actually a brewery in, my neck of the woods. Like, this is awesome. And at the time I worked in downtown. So that was sort of my route that I was the cliff there, so to speak. And so, yeah, but there's just, I can go on and on and on, man.
Yeah.
I can go, well,
keep going.
Yeah. Keep going. Jeremy, Stefan, from the brewery and now at Everywhere. I mean, those guys are.
Oh, yeah, Jeremy's a great
guy. Always answer the phone.
That's great.
So. There's like 4 that just came to mind, but I digress.
No, all good, man. I mean, and like that's cool though because you can that's what I love about this industry. Like you and I have talked about this, and John, and we've talked about it a ton. Like how it doesn't matter like what time of day it is. Like you could be mashing in or something like that, or you could be tossing hops in the boil or whatever. But you can kind of just. You can reach out to somebody like, hey, man, I'm having this issue. And they're like, oh, did you try this?
Yeah.
And
well, usually it's like, hey, I forgot to order something. Abraham, do you have a
it's an Abraham
borrow? And Nathan, do you have an 05? It's more of that.
Yeah.
Do you have any rice holes?
Yeah. I mean, that's just all of us.
You guys have Sabro? I need some.
Actually, that's like once a week. Once a week you ask for Sabro.
Oh, man.
Who does the ordering over there, Don?
Vista Hops just got pelletized.
There you go. Which one did?
Vista.
Okay.
Local hop farm.
Nice.
You guys need some Vista?
You said it's local? It's a local hop farm?
It's in Central California.
Right
over by Tracy.
Oh, okay. Oh, man.
It's where we contract for hops.
Okay. Because, dude, I want to interview a hop farmer so bad.
Let's do it.
Yeah, I'm so down.
We're buddies.
Yeah.
You'd love to.
How far is that from Fresno?
It's south of Fresno.
Wait, closer to Bakersfield.
Yeah, it's not that far.
Okay, that's
really
amazing.
close to Sacramento.
Yeah, it's close to Sacramento.
Tracy,
yeah.
Oh, okay. Because when you said south of Fresno, I was like, oh, damn, because my sister lives in Tulare.
Oh, okay.
Which is like,
so it's
like
just
an hour
north
past
of
Bakersfield.
it's just north of there.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it's not that far. We're planning a hop farm harvest trip where we're going to rent a bus and do an overnight out to the hop farm with customers, brewers, whoever wants to join, harvest, do a pig roast, and then spend some time over at a brewery there in Tracy before jumping on the bus and heading home.
Nice.
So that's our goal for next year during hop harvest is to do some brewery tourism.
I'm so down, and people listening couldn't see me, but I'm sure Nathan saw my eyes lit up when you said that. I was like, I'm in. That would be so fun.
Yeah. So our goal is every year to go help out with hop harvest, spend a 12, 16-hour day out in the hop field, picking our hops so that we can drive home with the fresh hops that we harvest that day.
Yeah.
Okay.
Immediately throw it into our wet hop IPA. We did it last year. This year we didn't get to join the harvest, but we did bring some fresh hops back and made a wet hop IPA. It's on tap right now.
Okay.
But that's our goal every year. We love talking with the hop farmers because we can find out what's working, what's not working.
Yeah.
What the hops taste like this year. We drive up there several times throughout the year and get to play with cones. And
love it.
Smell how the harvest is growing. It's pretty amazing. Those guys are great. And supporting the local economy, I think, is key. So how do you continually build that local economy? The only way to do it is by supporting the local farmers. So,
for sure,
How
man.
big of a farm is it?
it's a great question.
Acres?
I don't know how many acres it is. I know they have.
It's all hops.
So their family has been farming for generations.
Sure.
So he started Thompson Hop Farm 5-6 years ago, I think, and it's growing every year. They added Vista 2 years ago, and I think he said he has 3 acres of Vista alone. And this is just one of the California Hop Growers Coalition. There's several of them up there.
I know it's kind of like a newer thing that's going. Because it always used to be like Pacific Northwest or whatever.
Yeah, it's growing more and more. And there's some out in, like, we were contracted when we first opened with some hop growers out in Temecula. I don't think they're actually, that particular hop farm, I think they switched over to grapes, but the
Temecula Point. I mean,
Central Valley, they have quite a few hop farms out there. Atomic Hops is out there, Thompson Hops. And then there's a hop farm up in, like, outside of Oxnard as well that's partnered with Sage.
Okay.
So they do
that's my hometown. Wait a minute.
Yeah. So they do
John's like, what the
harvesting every year.
Well, it's probably like Santa Maria or Santa Paula. I mean, that's kind of more of the growing area around there.
Avocados and lemons, right?
Oranges.
Some other green stuff. I'm just kidding.
Not yet. Valley, Moore Park. That's all that inland corridor of.
Yeah, I've always wanted to join them for their hop harvest they do at the LA Brewers, but for whatever reason, I miss it every year. It makes me sad.
There you go. I had no idea Ventura County had one. Oh, well.
Yeah, we harvest some of our hops this year. That was fun. We got about a pound. Montebello hops.
There you go.
Think they'll probably go into a candle or something.
Yeah, I was going to say. Oh, it takes a couple of years to mature anyway.
Yeah. Well, we've been growing them for about 4 years now.
Way to go, Abraham. I'm just kidding.
Damn responsibility.
Yeah, I think Abraham set that for Nathan, knowing that I have a hard stop.
That's exactly what it is.
Appreciate it.
That's exactly what it is.
It's Abraham. Oh, I got to put my order in. Hang on.
No, it's already too late.
It's already too late. You already missed it.
So cut off at 3:00. This is why I asked. Do you guys have Sabra?
So do you have to head out?
I do. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, Dave, honestly, Nathan, thanks. I mean, honestly, thanks for being on the show way back when. Before you leave, is there any beer that you have coming up that you're like super excited about, or that you're going to be releasing soon? Abraham Horse and Montebello?
Yeah, well, we're working on one for the holiday season. We have 2 pastry stouts we're doing. The one I'm really excited about is going to be a peppermint bark pastry stout.
Ooh, okay.
And we haven't named it yet even. We're still working on the recipe, which is going to be finalized at some point this week because I have to get an order placed.
Okay.
And then we have a vanilla coffee pastry stout coming out in November as well. So
I liked the campfire one last year.
Oh,
that was
so good.
It was almost like s'mores, wasn't it? Yeah, I remember the great can artwork too.
Thank you. That's actually one of our customers did that can art. He's Howie. He's amazing.
Yeah,
great artist. Just moved out of town, sadly, but I'm still going to call him.
If you need a guy, my brother does a bunch.
Nice. Yeah. Typically Jeremiah, who does a few breweries, he's been our branding guy for. We love Jeremiah, but we had a customer that's been wanting to do labels, and that one, because of Justin, wanted to, has been integral in that recipe and brewing that beer. We reached out to him, and he's the Sasquatch in it with the big beard in the background. So Easter egg, if you look at those cans,
there you go.
Justin is the Sasquatch. But yeah, those are the 2 beers we're really excited about. Right now, we have Pegasus, which is our wet hop IPA on tap.
Okay.
Really excited about it. Was really bummed that we couldn't make it up to the Wet Hop Festival because I think we would have taken home a trophy again, but it's always tomorrow.
Hey, more beer for your paying customers to drink.
There you go.
There you go.
That one other keg.
And not less of a drive with a keg of beer.
There you go.
1 keg of beer.
1 keg of beer.
For 6 hours.
Yeah.
Jeez. But thank you guys for inviting me. Let me know when you want to talk about the farmer, and we'll get that scheduled.
I'm down whenever you want to, man.
I mean, Zach and I chatted for about an hour earlier today even, so.
Okay. I'm so down.
We're trying to get more of his hops down here in LA. So
yeah, I want to get a shot of the just the hops hanging, like just a drip of water on it or something like that with the sun going down. That'd be.
I can send you shots of that anytime you're ready.
Yeah, I want to.
We go up at least twice a year.
Be there to make love to the vine.
Oh yeah,
I'll let you know when I'm going up there because we like to watch them grow all the way from when they sprout.
Oh,
when they
that's
start
awesome.
Trailing. We try to follow the process every year. So let me know.
That's freaking cool, man. I'm so down.
We'll go up there, take the kids to Green Wolf Lodge. It'll be great.
Before you run out of here, did you bring a beer?
I did not bring a beer.
Okay,
was I supposed to?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's always
all good.
I was
That's
supposed to
when
bring
you
a beer.
come to a brewery.
All good, brother.
It's okay.
I
Next
brought
time.
my son.
There it is.
Thanks, guys.
Later.
I have to leave early.
Yeah, all good, buddy.
They can just leave everything here, dude. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
I'll clean up.
And we're back. John's over here pouring us a beer here, and this is a
Crooked Forge.
This is one you sent to GABF.
Yeah, this is the Brettanomyces oak aged, crazy. Again, this as we talked earlier, the Logsdon beer.
Yeah,
this is not even close to what they made, but this is the kind of the thing that got me going. What?
Yeah, it's
Yeast
giving me
does
like
this?
it's giving me like almost like a Saison or like a wild ale kind of just on the nose.
100%.
Like that juniper, right? Like this is. Oh man.
I'll give you a juniper.
I mean,
cheers, fellas.
Cheers, salud.
Spilt a little, so it's gonna smell like it's gonna smell great in here tomorrow.
There you go.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, just
tasty,
that dry,
very dry,
bubblegum, effervescent. Just something completely different than what I usually make here.
Yeah,
it was just sat in a barrel for a year, so you're just like,
dude.
I hope it works. I hope it works.
It worked.
Oh yeah, no, and you said bubblegum, and I was like, oh shit, yeah. It's like almost like bubble yum. The freaking what's it called? No, it's great.
Thank you. Yeah, no, I'm really happy with this.
You get like the sweetness, like obviously from your nose, but then like the taste on your palate, like you get kind of that almost like a hint of tartness there.
Yeah, I mean it's almost a sour, but not your typical sour.
It's great.
Yeah. Oh, thank you.
You need to crowd.
I only have like 4 barrels of it. I only have 4 barrels of it, so it's like it's like once it's gone, it's going to be gone until hopefully next year. The barrels work again.
There you go.
They're magic.
I'm going to be over here trying to haul it in my backpack,
I know,
but
right?
no one's paying attention.
No crowlers, sorry. I thought about doing crowlers, but I was like, I think I would waste so much beer.
Yeah.
Someone would open it up,
drink,
one part of it, and then leave the crowler in their fridge, and it's still good.
Yeah. A perfect segue too, because I wanted to talk to you guys about like your approach, especially if it's something new, like your approach to recipe development. Like how was that? Like we'll start with you, Abraham. Like how does that? What's your process?
Sure. So actually, I just brewed up a New Zealand Pilsner that's going to be ready probably tomorrow or Thursday.
You sandbagging son of a bitch! You didn't even tell me.
Yeah, no. So my approach is, the hops that I usually use on a very, I want to say daily basis, but, weekly basis, I'm very familiar with as far as like the profiles, what they do on the hot side as well as the cold side. And so the way I approach it specifically with something like a New Zealand Pils is, what am I trying to achieve? Do I want to get that, do I want it to be overly hoppy? Do I want it to be kind of mid, low? Do I want to accentuate the malts? And so with this one, I want to accentuate the hops, right? And so the hops that I selected were hops that I'm intimately familiar with because I know how they're going to react on both sides.
Yeah.
And then kind of putting that sort of recipe together in a way that's going to push, and water chemistry and all that other good stuff, that's going to push that, not only that style, but more the aroma and the flavor of that specific beer, right? And that goes across all the other beers. It's basically sort of, I use a core amount of hops that I know very, very well. And then with that, I kind of branch off into these different styles of beers.
Yeah.
Every blue moon, I'll bring in a new hop just to experiment.
You make Blue Moon?
Yeah.
Sorry.
I'll bring in a new hop just to experiment with it, but 9 times out of 10, I just revert back to the hops that I know and I love.
Yeah, he was just making a shandy. That's all.
That's all it was, a shandy. That's good stuff. Be a good time for a shandy. It's like 90 degrees today.
Oh yeah, it's fucking hot,
Really
man.
hot, yeah.
I don't get it. It was like 70 degrees, last week?
Yeah, a week before that it was 110.
I guess that's true. It's Southern California,
great.
I guess. Yeah.
It's brew shandy.
Yeah, there you go.
Too funny.
How about you, John?
Kind of how he said it, but like anything hoppy, I tend to work backwards. I'll pick the hops first.
Yeah.
And what I still do it to this day for like even the ones that I use like all the time. I'll go look, what is the hop profile? What does it say? What does Citra actually say it does, like in the boil versus end of boil versus dry hop, and take that description and say I'm going to use something else, and I'll go read that description and I see if those two things sound like they fit. So I'll tend to kind of keep some of my hops similar throughout. So if there's a tropical note to a hop, which is when you're New Zealand, Australian, I'll tend to stay with those all the way through. Where if I want to do a West Coast, I'll go find what those hops are that are more, maybe a little more piney, a little more danky, but also still has some citrus aspect and put those hops together. Then I'll go and look at what my malt build wants to be.
Okay.
So I'm sure it probably sounds weird when you talk to brewers. It's like, oh, our base malt is this. Well, when you say that, it sounds like you start with the base, the malt. And technically I go the other way around. The malt is kind of, especially for IPAs, is just, you can go complex with it, but the IPAs nowadays are just hop forward.
Yeah.
So the simpler you keep it on the malt build, the more you're going to get your hops out. So knowing that when I make an IPA or even a hazy is hops first and then work backwards a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't worry too much. I mean, for IPAs, I don't worry too much about what the yeast is. I mean, we have our SAF 05. Everybody uses it. Hazies, I'll play around with some yeast here and there, but for the most part, they're all kind of pretty similar. Lagers, I'll go look up, or Pilsners, all that stuff. I'll go look up as much traditional recipe style as I can find, because that's what I like about Pilsners and lagers is the more traditional. I don't need to go...
Yeah. Well, I mean, you can't hide behind anything.
Graham Cracker, Marzen, or whatever. I just want a Marzen. I just want a Pilsner. I just want an American lager, and just kind of keep it with that.
What's your average lager time?
I go as fast as I can.
Okay.
I mean, the lagering time nowadays, I only got 4 tanks.
Yeah.
So if I let something sit there and lager for 2 months, I'm kind of screwed.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of techniques and stuff out there that you can... Excuse me, that beer is very bubbly.
Yeah. It's looking great, though.
There's a lot of more techniques that you can kind of speed that process up. And I have no problem doing that to clarify the beer instead of letting it sit for 2 months and slowly drop. There's stuff that you can add that helps that process along a lot faster.
Okay.
So, technically I lager for maybe 2 or 3 days as that drops. And then if it's clear and it's good, send it over.
Gotcha.
I make a friendly pills and it's gone in a month.
Yeah.
And it almost takes 3 weeks, 3.5 to make it.
Back in rotation.
So it's like, I don't got time.
Yeah.
If I had production brewery, sure, I'd try to do it.
Oh, of course.
Just to see if it would be worth it. But for now, the way it is right now with my setup, I have to knock them out pretty quick.
Oh, I bet. Yeah. And how about you, Abraham?
Yeah, I think I go a little overboard with the hazies and the lagers, to be quite honest with you. But yeah, I usually, it takes about 2 months because I transfer them and I let them sit, and then I have the luxury of having bigger tanks, so I can, I have the space to. I knew John was gonna.
Just so you know, one of his tanks is bigger than all 4 of mine put together.
Oh shit!
Okay. So I have that.
And how many of those do you have?
7. So I have the luxury of doing what John said. Like if I had the capacity, I'm sure every brewer would do the same thing.
Yeah.
Just because it's sort of the, with lagers, it's not about the ingredients more than it is the process.
Yeah.
Which is why I built the brew house the way I built the brew house, actually. So I could be focus specifically on making lagers and being able to step mash and things of that nature, and got the amount of fermenters that we got. Mm-hmm. Whereas like John mentioned, IPAs, it's the stars are going to be the water profile and the hops. That's sort of the 2 things that I obsessed over when making IPAs versus lagers. Lagers is more, as I said, process than it is, because quite frankly, the malt profile, the ingredients is not complicated on lagers, right? It's pretty simple, 2, 3 at the max, 3 different types of malts, traditional hops, again, water profile, and then process. So,
do you think like back in like 1600, whatever, when they're still lagering because that's how they clarified it, if they had the processes today, do you think they would use them?
Oh, no doubt about it. Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely.
Instead of putting it in the mountain for 6 months, they're like, wait, we can get all these beers out in time. We'd have January Fest. We'd have March-tober Fest.
Fest.
Yeah.
No, absolutely.
Oh man, that made me. That was a good one.
Coming soon to Whittier Brewing Company, March-tober-fest.
There you go.
If the city allows us to do that one.
No.
You never know.
Sorry. Too soon.
Yeah, that one hurt.
I was going to say what happened, but we'll talk about that.
We tried to do an Oktoberfest here on the street.
Oh, really?
With with another organization, and we were down for it. And it's no fault of the organization. It's just and really no fault of the city. It's no knock on anybody, but the city just kind of came back like, yeah, we need more time to figure out, because even with the night market, they haven't allowed alcohol out there in
very long
20 years.
Right.
When they also had the other night market, that's when booze and stuff was out there, and they're just no, because things happen when there's alcohol out there.
Yeah.
And that many people and that much drinking. So I think they were for it. Like, if we just had more time, like give them a year to plan it out. So we'll try again. But yeah, they just kind of said, no, that's just too soon. And I think they're still a little nervous about putting beer and stuff out there.
It's understandable, right? We understood, but hopefully we'll have another bite at the apple next year, and hopefully we can get this done.
And then having my establishment and his establishment not being that kind of a place,
right?
That it's responsible and it's more of a celebration of beer, not celebration of puking and shit face and stuff like that.
Yeah.
What kind of beer we're going to have is going to be a 4% fest beer. I mean, we're not.
Yeah, I promise I'll only have 10. I won't be the guy that ruins the party for everybody.
Well, I don't know if you even have 10, right? Just with the volume.
Yeah. So we'll see. I mean, a lot of people always ask about it, and it's just a big production to put on.
Oh, I bet.
An Oktoberfest. So hopefully, knock on wood, next year we can find a way to do it, because I think it would be kind of fun.
Yeah.
And then to show the city that it's okay to do things like that, to have a controlled beer garden with 500 people in there and 1,500 security officers controlling all that,
and then it can be an annual thing once they kind of
hopefully
you do it right the first time. Don't do it wrong the first time, don't go crazy, do it right the first time, and then you build from that. So
and I think the exclamation point there is, like John said, we're not that type of establishment. We're closed by before midnight, right? We're not going to be open till 3 a.m. because that's not what we want. We want people to come in here and enjoy the craft of our work, and of course enjoy the beers, not to rip 5 shots and then slam 10. That's not our place.
And then just go next door and do it again.
You don't want drunk Mike, and I'm talking about this Mike, not the other Mike that's sitting over there pounding on the La Bodega. I want chorizo con papa. Come on, let me in.
I did that once.
Yeah, it was one time, and I was out of line. No, it was. Honestly, you guys, I know, and I'm not just tuning your guys' horns. You guys know this. I care about you both. And you guys are always willing to just sit down, have a conversation, have a beer, and it's always a good time.
Yeah, sure. Absolutely. Hey, as you said, it's our 1-year anniversary.
Yeah.
Was it 1 year ago?
We're gonna hold hands. We're holding hands now.
You guys are actually holding hands. All right.
It's a 1-year anniversary. Happy anniversary, bro.
Yeah, happy anniversary to you too, man. I ain't gonna put out though. I'm
I hope.
Just give him another beer.
No, I know. Yeah, give another. It's some of that Houston.
There it is. Is there a beer that you guys have coming out soon? And tell us about the Tamarindo one. You guys, we'll start with that. The Tamarindo with Encanto.
Yeah.
Honestly, Enrique and Raymond, man, great guys, really great guys.
Yeah,
and their beer's phenomenal.
Yeah, just working with them, it's so easy, right?
Yeah,
they understand sort of the challenges, they understand the processes, they understand the beer world. So it's been really fun, getting to know them and just working with them. But yeah, so to let folks know, we teamed up with a brewery out in the Philippines in Manila called Encanto. Head brewer there, his name is Michael Jordan. Yes, like the basketball player.
Yeah.
Otherwise known as MJ. So he flew out and we did a collaboration beer where we focused on Filipino Mexican flavor profile. We chose to do it in a blonde, and it's called the rambutan, which is sort of like a lychee, right?
Okay.
And it grows abundantly in the Philippines. And then we also decided to do tamarind, right? Which grows abundantly in Mexico. And so those were the 2 flavor profiles that we infused, and it's out now, limited supply as well. We originally put it on the tap room and it was selling really well. It was flying.
Yeah.
Come to find out that rambutan is seasonal. So we had to pull it. And so now the season is upon us. Now we're able to source it again because we weren't able to get it. So I had the kegs literally sitting in my walk-in and I couldn't use them.
Yeah.
But now the fruit is back and we have plenty of it now. So
okay, there you go.
It's back on tap. It'll be there until, we kick the kegs. I think there's like 5 or 4 kegs left. But that was, I really like the way that beer came out as well, because it does have sort of the flavor profile that we're shooting for. The hops that we chose there was Nelson Sauvignon, so you get some of that, kind of winey wine flavor, and it goes really well with the lychee and the tamarind.
Okay.
Blonde, so it's really good on the nose. Really good when you sip it.
You're letting all those things you added to it come out.
Exactly.
You want to taste all that stuff through a blonde.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So that one we have currently, and then as I said, we'll have a New Zealand Pilsner probably on Thursday.
Yeah. Thanks for telling me ahead of time.
I'll be there.
I might have to. Yeah. I might have. I don't. Oh shit! I'm gonna be out of town this weekend, but maybe the next weekend
I'll text you about it. I'll text you how good it is, or
there you go.
Yeah. But you know what? Don't even bother.
Just send you a picture. Be like, hi.
Yeah, you gotta send me one. How about you, John? You got anything coming up?
Nothing crazy in the tanks right now. Probably the next thing is going to be probably mid-November. I have my other barrel-aged stout about ready.
Okay.
It's probably more of a Belgian stout. So Belgian high-gravity yeast, some more Belgian chocolatey notes in there.
Okay.
I just put in some toasted cocoa nibs to let that sit for like a month or 2.
Yeah.
So I'm expecting big chocolate nonsense to come out of it.
There you go.
And then the barrels, I mean, they're old. The third time I've used them, I think it was Wild Turkey. Probably not going to get much bourbon or anything out of it, but you're definitely going to get a lot of that vanilla and tannin from the oak. Because the last one we did I still have a couple bottles and they're like almost a year old, and you still get big dark oak flavor, which is enough for me.
Oh yeah.
I mean, if you want to, take the bottle home and just, drop some Wild Turkey in there, then you got the same effect.
There you go.
So, but that's probably the thing that'll be coming out hopefully like mid-November.
And were you guys talking about doing a collab in November?
Yeah.
No,
we still have time to do it.
Right.
A little Christmassy spice ale.
I think when you and I talked about Highway 72 back in July, it was in July, right? I think it was July.
Don't remember.
I'm almost positive.
Okay.
I think it was July.
Sure.
Might have been the day before the 4th of July. I don't remember, but I know you mentioned that maybe sometime in November you guys might do another collab.
Yeah, so John and I have been having a loosely conversation about doing a winter ale. Just a winter focus. This one won't involve the Highway 72 series.
Yeah.
Sorry, Nathan and Augie and Brujeria and Angry Birds. No, we wanted to make it Whittier focused since we're both in Whittier, right? So it just makes sense. No knock on those guys. But, December's right around the corner. So we want to do, as you said, sort of a winter spicy.
Something to keep you warm.
Ale. Exactly, winter ale.
Because 3 days of winter here in California.
You know it.
Gotta drink it fast. Drink it fast.
We have winter from like 12 a.m. to like 5 a.m. Yeah. And then
that's not even winter. That's barely winter. Yeah. So we kind of talked about that, and we want to find, instead of just making it, we want to do a little bit more with it as far as community involvement.
Right? Okay.
And the reason why, and we'll once we decide when we're going to make it, we'll let you know, and we'll kind of talk more about that. To kind of see what we can do with it. And,
yeah, we definitely want to bring in a nonprofit organization and have some sort of just, supporting our local community as they support us, right?
Yeah. So, that's perfect kind of segue, because I was going to mention...
Whittier Brewing, I'm kind of like, I feel like I'm a nonprofit. We just do it. Can I fill out the 501c3 and just be like, hi?
That was honestly the perfect segue though, because one of the questions I had was how do you incorporate like local culture into your brewery,
right.
And that's obviously a big thing. You guys being in Whittier, and then I know obviously Nathan being in Montebello and being right next to Pico with Augie and Adrian.
Right.
So how was that for you guys?
Yeah, exactly what we're talking about, right? Yeah. I think it's having a beer, because it's all about education also, right? It's again going back to the point of, we're not a bar where you're gonna walk in and be here till 3 a.m. It's more about the craft. It's more what we want people to taste, these different styles of beers, right? I know not everyone likes beer, but you come into my place or John's place, I could almost guarantee you're gonna like at least one, right?
Oh,
because
for sure.
we'll have different flavor profiles, we'll have different styles for people, and the point is that's the point is opening up people's eyes to
beer isn't just the mass produced
exactly
thing that's out there.
Exactly. So how do we do that? I think it's like
and we all thought 5 years ago that everybody knew.
Yeah,
everybody knew.
Yep.
Nope.
Yeah.
There's still a lot of, I don't want to knock any Miller Lite or Budweiser drinkers, but we still got people coming in. It's like, can I get a Miller Lite? And I'm like, no.
Yeah. Friendly pills.
And we try to tell them, it's like, no, I don't have that, but try this. I mean, so there's still that education aspect that we have to keep doing.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was kind of gone, but it's not.
Well, I mean, like you were saying, like, I feel like even like 5 years ago, like, the craft beer community, it kind of peaked. I would say not peaked, but like it got really big and like, like the mid 2010s. And then it just kind of kept going. But then there's still like you're attracting new people. They don't necessarily know what's what. They don't know what Citra is.
Craft is a little bit more normal now.
Yeah.
Oh, 1,000%.
So I think that's part of it. And you'll see, I mean, there used to be bars that were just craft beer. You just see El Segundo to Noble to Stone and, those original Strand and Eagle Rock. That's all you would see.
What's it called? What was the
cellar?
The cellar. When you'd be able to get like, Pliny every once in a while, or even at 6740.
Yeah. Well, I mean, now, but what you're seeing now is that craft and those the Miller Lite and the Miller and stuff like that. And so it's just kind of the line between the two is getting blurred because, these new drinkers or people that have been out drinking for 10, 15 years or something like that came in with craft, they think it's still all together. Yeah. And it's like, no.
Yeah.
But also, yes.
Right.
So it's it's just blurring, and it's just trying to tell people like why I don't make something like Miller Lite.
Yeah.
Or try to emulate that.
Or it's like the person that says, "Oh, I love craft beer. I drink Mango Cart." I mean, not knock on Golden Road, but they're no longer
totally
just
knock on Golden
Road. Listen, they do what they wanted to do with their. It was a business decision, as Raider fans know. Right now,
Stone,
Well,
Stone, right?
Well, I mean, the other thing that happens, anybody that does anything like that sells out or anything, there's no negative thing to that anymore.
I still drink hams.
Yeah. I talk to people now. There's like going, man, if I would have 10 years ago, 15 years ago, I would have done this. I would have sold.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, no, but you couldn't.
Yeah.
You're a craft. You had to hold on.
Right.
You had to stay true.
Yep.
And now it's like, oh man, $10 million.
That'd be nice.
I mean, it's just kind of, blurred's not the right word, but it's just kind of all kind of coming together.
Meshing, I guess.
Yeah, right. It's like, and then you have those people they think that they're drinking craft when they're not, and that's just like a whole other layer of education and just being out there. And I think partnering with the nonprofit and just keeping it hyper local is the way to go. And a lot of the craft breweries, as far as the trends that I've been seeing, I'm sure John as well, it's becoming more and more localized.
100%.
So people are coming, you want to start saturate in and then kind of grow out.
Yeah.
Because if you just try to throw it out there, there's so many breweries that are just making amazing beers. And it's like, well.
And they already have the market. And you're trying to come in as like, nobody really knows you, or just all of a sudden that, that slower build is kind of because then you have that foundation, and then you can kind of go from Whittier to Orange County to deeper LA to inland or something like that, and then grow that base.
Then like you kind of grow your treasure map, I guess. Like you figure out like, oh, you can go here or go there, and like because you start off like, oh, I mean, my cousins are here all the time, and my cousins are at your place all the time. I mean, you've gotten me I don't know how many reservations, and I couldn't even go because I was busy. But I mean, like they go there and they come in and they've hung out with you a bunch of times. They're always like they're finding these places, but they also like to branch out.
Yeah.
But I mean, they always come back to their home base.
Yeah.
But you can find those other breweries, and like when you and I talked about when Kevin came on, I was to talk about like just finding your beer. I mean, like that reel that I did. It was about like supporting local, drink local, but find the beer that makes you want to branch out. And that's what I feel like, like that's what people are kind of doing. Once they kind of get into it, because sometimes it's just getting their foot in the door. Like one of my cousins loves micheladas. She doesn't really care for beer. She loves micheladas.
Right.
But then she tried yours, and she was just like, oh shit. And then she tried the Mexican lager.
El Rey?
Yeah, no, the El Rey. I was going to say the Suerte one, but no, it's El Rey. And I love that can, by the way.
Yeah,
it's the blue one.
Yeah. Yep.
But yeah, she tries that and then, wants to try something else. But I mean, then you slowly see that palate develop. And, like.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's what it's about, right?
Yeah.
That's exactly what it's about, is having someone come in here. And I've had, like John, oh, do you have any Miller Lite? No, of course we don't. But, try this,
Yeah.
try that.
Say it with pride.
Yeah.
No, we don't.
Get the fuck
How
out.
dare
I'm just
you.
kidding.
No,
I'm kidding.
In the head, in the mind, I'm like going, oh.
Yeah, no, I'm Josh.
And just slowly, try this one. Oh, I like it. Okay, now try this one and grow that.
Yeah, that beer education is so important because, like, if you can build that bond, because they'll know, like, oh, they recommended me something that I really like, so I'm gonna come back. You build that trust, that rapport, and
and then God willing, we can make it the same way again twice.
It happens, right?
It's a challenge.
A couple more things before we finish up.
Sure.
Did you bring a beer, Abraham?
I did. I think you've already tried this one though.
Oh yeah, we
I brought the Highway 72 red ale that we brewed. This one Brujeria made. I figured we're all going to be here, so
yeah, let's do it.
I cheated on my assignment.
That's great. I had in a while.
Oh, and you know what, John?
I haven't had in a while. I sold out of it.
I
sold out of it a long time ago. I don't know what happened.
If you want to sell more, I will supply you, John.
No, man. And I'm drinking the Smash Bits. Was it Bits and Bites?
Smash Bits and Bites.
I like it, man.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It's just, talking brand, it's like when Greenleaf has, I know you love Greenleaf. I love Greenleaf.
Oh, yeah. Who doesn't?
Super classic, super great. If I have that up there, every other West Coast stays.
Yeah.
I mean, because, staff loves it the same way. So when they recommend, your staff probably gets asked the same question.
Oh, absolutely.
Hey, which beer do you like?
Right.
What are you drinking? Oh, okay.
Right.
And they go, Greenleaf.
Yep.
Greenleaf friendly. And I'm like, I appreciate it. Love it. I think it's a great thing. But it's also like, but Smash Bits and Bites.
Yep.
Smash.
You can see it by the sales reports.
Oh, yeah.
Like, what manager's working? What servers are working?
Well,
and we know the sales of that beer is going to be more than average because they love that beer, right?
Well, even going back to the beer education part, like I feel like that's a big thing because you can, like, oh yeah, do you like this one? It's brewed with this, but then you can be like, well, this one's similar, but it also has notes of this, and you can kind of That's why I've talked about it a couple times on the show about like the single hop beers. Because then you can really
they're great educational types of things. Yeah,
because then you can kind of pull those flavors from it, and then the next time you have, let's say you have an all Citra, like a single hop Citra,
or like Sabro.
Yeah, Sabro too, or Mosaic. Like you can have.
I don't have my glasses on, bro.
I literally just texted another brewer. Do you have a bag of Sabro?
Yeah.
By the way,
Sorry.
Abraham, can we put this podcast on like tonight? Abraham at Bodega could use a bag of Sabro. If there are any brewers in the LA area, please contact.
Okay,
man.
I kind of want to take a picture of Abraham right now and be like,
got Sabro?
Like, you got Sabro?
I need Sabro.
Oh, hold on, I'm gonna do a portrait mode one. I'm gonna put got Sabro.
Be like that.
Yeah. Oh, I'll do it again. Hold on. Well, and I'm taking the picture while we're recording, so fuck it.
Dude, if you get a bag of Sabro tonight, that's gonna be hilarious.
There we go.
That would be hilarious.
It's all the way out in Northridge.
Oh yeah, I'm totally gonna post that tonight.
I mean, I know I'm gonna track it down. It's just a matter of so now I gotta see how far I gotta drive.
like
Thank you, Yakima.
There you go.
Oh, wow.
No, the hop harvest was last week. I think it was last week.
Yeah, I think it was last week.
Yeah. One day I'll get up there. I think that'd be amazing.
Yeah, one day. Would you want to go up there, John?
Oh, for like one of the hop
harvests
and the educational tour things they do? Yeah. I mean,
he's kind of like Happy Gilmore, right? He's like gold jacket, green jacket. Who gives a shit?
I mean, sure. I'm gonna go and it'll be great. And it'll be fun. But I mean, I'm more interested in making beer with hops instead of like seeing the whole growth process. Like go to a maltster. It'd be great to see the process.
Right.
I don't know if I'm really gonna get anything more out of it except stinky green hands and, shit all over my pants, and dive into a whole cone of hops. I mean, great, but I mean, if I was big enough here at the brewery where you can get like your own contract and you get to pick that
like the pick of
crop
the litter,
of hops, that kind of a thing, I can see where that can create a unique thing, but I'm not big enough to do anything like that. I mean, I still just spot hops. I hear about contracts and I'm just like, oh, yeah. Some people, do you have any? No? Yeah, smart. I mean,
and I ask that question as if I don't know that me and John live at our breweries and we can't leave for or much time because there's literally, 2 of us that are operating our breweries.
2.5. I mean, you got an assistant. I have an assistant. That's the other half. Yeah.
But exactly. Like the culture, I think the culture is the right word. Like the culture you guys have created in both of your breweries, like that's why, I always make an effort to try to talk to you guys because
it's number one.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, beer is number one.
Oh yeah.
Having great beer is number one.
Yeah.
2 is culture. 2 is the vibe.
Oh, for sure. But it's also for me, it's your guys' stories too. How you guys started and all that sort of stuff. That's why, I love that aspect of it. To me, talking to you guys, hearing how you guys started, but then also, the beer is at the forefront. But you guys as people and what you guys went through to get what you wanted or doing what you guys did before this, that's what, the essence of this is for me. So, I always have it's.
Yeah. Gave up that 9 to 5, 5 days a week.
Yeah.
Making more money.
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
absolutely. To open a brewery. No, it's great. Yeah. No. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But it's
dream
honestly,
come true.
But
I get to work every day now.
I can work 7 days a week.
Not 5.
Wake up at dark, get home at dark.
Yeah. But to me, man, your guys' commitment though, no matter what, that's why it's always I always have a fucking phenomenal time talking to you guys. I know if I come see you or if I come see you, Abraham, I know I'm going to have a good time because I'm going to do what I can to make you laugh and you guys just make me laugh on your guys' own. So, and you guys together. And to me, there's not,
it's because I know what he's going through.
Yeah.
He knows what I'm going through. That's what we're more maniacally laughing at is, wait, how much are you making?
Yeah.
And you have to do what? You have to can what? And then he's like, wait, how many people are going to be there? You have what? And then, it's just, I think we both share a common fear.
Yeah.
Right.
No,
no, absolutely.
And I just laugh at fear.
I was spit in the face of danger.
And I've told you this before. It's why things like this to me are so important is because people don't always see the other side of that curtain, right? Mm-hmm. What we go through, right?
Yeah.
How we're there every day, why we gave up the 9 to 5 and stability. And
they just show up to drink. They don't know the story behind it.
But I would still give up that 9. I mean, I joke about giving up the 9 to 5. I'd do it a heartbeat again.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, you got to shoot your shot, right? If there's an opportunity that comes up, but I also again going back to the education part is not only having folks understand about the beer and learning more about the beer, but also learning about the story and learning about the culture that we're trying to build and
100%
and really get behind that because that's really what justifies the means to the end and having them to come back and support us, right? Mm-hmm. If we don't have that community, that backbone, we're not going to be here very long, right?
Yeah.
So it's
if
super important.
If you're not providing a cool vibe place for them to go to, so they can get away from their stuff and hang out and good food, good beer, good community, good neighbors, so to speak, then they ain't going to come back.
Right.
What's the reason for them to come back? Yeah. They're going to go somewhere else. They're going to find that somewhere.
Right.
Our job here is to create that here. Your job over there is to create that kind of thing that they come back to it.
And what's cool about both breweries is you get the family aspect from both. You can come to Whittier Brewing and you can see, you see all the different things in here and you can have that family aspect.
I'm sure you've heard the kids just screaming and yelling right now.
Oh,
yes. Yeah, it's great.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. But the same thing with Bodega. With La Bodega.
On cue.
You can go, you can go to your brewery and you can have brunch, but you can also take your family and you can have a few drinks. You can do that sort of thing. You can go there for dinner. You can, just like here, you can go there for dinner. You can go to La Crosse, get pizza, or you can go to, get barbecue. And then you can go to your establishment, get a tomahawk steak. You can have whatever you want. That's it's a completely different styles when it comes to like the actual brewery.
Right.
But it's still that family kind of thing where everything, like we mentioned earlier, meshes together.
Mm-hmm.
And I think you guys said it best. Honestly, I'd probably on the Tall Boy Sunday. Shout out to Tall Boy. Shout out to Mike. Fucking guy, dude. Yeah. Love
Is that at the one at your house?
Yeah.
Oh,
We need to make it out there.
Yeah. He keeps saying we got to go out there. So I'm in.
No, and I told him I'll go out there.
Yeah.
We got
to plan a date. Yeah. I know it's tough to get everybody together, but being able to do something like that. And you guys talked about like how like you're like, there's always competition out there, but you guys, like, it is a family. So like, and both of you guys, as much as you guys fuck with each other, you know how much you guys care about one another.
I'm the older brother.
Yeah.
It's actually where we started this podcast, right? It's
we're back to it again.
Sort of the open door policy. It's more of the exception, not the rule, when it comes to breweries, right? It's all about supporting and helping each other. And I understand why people may think that it's competition, but it's really not. And I've said this before. It's like as craft brewers, we are 10-11% of the entire brewing market. I mean, we're nothing. We're tiny when it comes to that, right? The big boys dominate that market.
Oh my God. Even if you look at just the alcohol sales just in Uptown, I bet we're maybe 10%.
Yeah.
Maybe.
And that's our home base, right?
Yeah.
And so it's, again, getting that story out, getting the information out of, the community coming in to keep supporting us and supporting each other, right?
Yeah. And the reason why you support each other
exactly.
and support us. Yeah.
No, but I mean, you guys are always great to me, and that's all. Like, I will do anything I can for you guys.
I appreciate that, man. Thank you.
Buy a 4-pack of crawlers on your way out.
T-shirt wouldn't hurt.
Yeah.
Hey, I have a sweater. I have a sweater from your store. I mean, not from your store, from your brewery, and I have a T-shirt from your brewery.
Funny.
And I always send business your guys' way because you got to support local, drink local.
Well, you're doing the same thing that you just talked about.
Yeah.
You're supporting what you like. You're helping us. We're helping you. You want to go help. If another podcaster came to you and said, like, "Hey, how'd you get into this?"
Oh,
you tell them 100% how to do it. You tell them like, going, "All right, you can go buy all this crazy expensive equipment.
Yeah.
Or you can just buy this little thing for under
$500
$500
and this stuff.
A couple little mics and hey, that's how you do it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how you do it. I mean, in
Paying
any
it
other
forward.
business, it's a little more cutthroat.
Right.
Oh yeah.
And it's just not fun.
No. I mean, why? Like, why does it have to be that way?
Yeah, I mean, and
who knows?
Really, I think the magic of what you do is people, right? It's hitting these brewers, both male and female, and just listening to their stories and getting it out there. I think
no story is the same.
Yeah, that's huge, right?
Oh, and because this will be out in 2 weeks, so I'll announce it here. I got the go ahead with Dario from Burning Daylight in Lomita. We're doing a collab, so it'll be the podcast will be on the can. So it'll be the Taproom Podcast, Burning Daylight collab. So I'm excited about that. I'm going to brew my first pro beer.
All right.
So he told me, he's like, you're doing all the work, huh?
What are you
We're going to do West Coast.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Like you're doing the recipe, the everything.
Yeah, we're going to work on the recipe
Okay.
together and stuff like that. But the brew day, it's going to be all me.
Nice.
So, but we're going to do a brew day episode. So, like, I'm sure I'm going to be in for a whirlwind of fucking.
No, it won't be that because you're literally going to. Okay, the whole thing about brewing is you do something, especially on the homebrew scale. You do something for 5 minutes, you wait an hour.
Yeah.
It's kind of like that on the bigger scale. It's just you're dealing you're dealing with hundreds of gallons, thousands of gallons of either hot boiling water, some kind of chemical, some kind of mash thing that you don't want to open the manway early.
Yeah.
You're dealing with just that much more.
Yeah.
That you don't really have that time in between. So you're going to be sitting there trying to talk and do a podcast at the same time.
Oh no! So I think we're gonna take breaks in between. It'll be like a cutting time. So we'll do
that's gonna
20 minutes here, and then figure it out. So
okay,
yeah. I've only ever done one where
just
we
put one of those mics on yourself. Just constantly recording.
The lapel mics.
Yeah. Just do that. I mean, that'll be so you get him in the background going, "What the fuck are you doing? You're fucking up the beer."
No.
I told you already. I told you not to do that.
You done fucked up. what is it? You done fucked up, Ron?
Yeah. Ron.
What system does he have? How many barrels?
Shit, I don't remember.
I think he's 15.
Somebody,
he could have some couple bigger ones, but I think he's
it was the same one that they had at, I want to say Beechwood prior to all of that.
Okay.
I want to say that's 15 Premier.
Yeah. But I'm excited about it because like I get to have the tap room on a can, and to me that's
super cool.
That's what I mean. Something I've always kind of wanted ever since this all started. So I'm excited about that.
Nice.
Thanks for asking me to do it.
No, honestly, I did because I never asked you because I never want to feel like no. But honestly, though, if you ever wanted to do it, I'm so down because like
I wouldn't be. I mean, it would have been great to do it today on our anniversary.
Oh fuck yeah! No, our 1 year anniversary. You sandbagging son of a bitch. It was so funny though because we were sitting there and then John was having some pizza and we were having a beer, and I was like, fuck. I was like, I'm pretty sure it was like just about a year ago that we talked, and then I went through my old photos. With the ex that took the picture, she was sitting over.
Oh, let's talk about the ex.
Yeah, let's get into that.
Let's get into
Oh, you want to do that? I mean, I don't honestly at this point I don't even give a shit anymore. But no, I've never seen anything bad about her. There was a lot of stuff that happened. You know,
we were just totally kidding. We didn't want to.
Oh no! But the shitty thing was, like, I mean, like when it came to the picture, mics are dead. No, but the picture that was taken of you and I was like. You were sitting there. You couldn't just like maneuver to get a better picture, but it is what it is.
Sorry,
but yeah, I was looking through the thing, saw that it was 1 year. I was like, oh
That's
shit,
funny.
Yeah, classic. And we're closing in. I mean, so I think this episode will be 87.
Wow, closing in on 100.
Are you do something for your 100?
Yeah. So what I'm gonna do for 100 because it's always a thank you episode, like for the past episodes or past people I've had.
Gonna do it at Burning Daylight.
No, that one's actually
big old spiel over there.
No, so I actually I told my brother, because when it was Taps and Tailgates, we did about 100 episodes together. So I was like, all right, well, because this show came to be because of them.
Right.
So I was like, we're going to do episode 100. Me, my brother, my buddy, Ivan, whose favorite hop is Cashmere because he said it's the sexiest of the hops. And then my cousin Carrie. So we're going to do one episode, Taps and Tailgates, one night only, and do that. But that's the plan for that. And then I'll probably do the thank you episode, either 99 or 101.
There you go.
But yeah.
Did you ever do anything for your like batch 100?
No.
I know.
We haven't done anything for our anniversary. I haven't done anything. It's just
I'm gonna have you're so busy.
I'm gonna have my first anniversary on my 5-year anniversary.
Yeah, man.
My first 5-year anniversary.
Like drinking from a fire hose sometimes.
Yeah.
No, we did. I know we did. I don't remember what beer it was, but I know we posted about like, oh, hey, look, batch 100. And it's like instantly after that, I lost count.
Yeah.
I was like, I mean, I'll look at it again, maybe at the end of the year, see where I'm at.
Right.
But I'm like, bro, I mean, whatever batch 500, whatever the next milestone is, it's going to be whatever beer needs to be made at that moment.
Yeah.
Nothing's going to be
Probably
special.
don't say that, John.
It's just
like,
going to be.
It's
going to be another friendly pill.
He's like, I'm gonna let it lager for 5 days this time.
5 days.
The normal 3.
Yeah.
At 34 degrees, not 32. I wanted more phenolic.
There it is.
God.
No, yeah, I do have an anniversary plan for the 2 years, but it's gonna be with Mike from Unsung because he after I changed it from Taps and Tailgates to the tap room, I reached out to people. The only person that responded, but that was 2 years ago, and Mike responded right away and was just like, "Dude, yeah, come in." So I was so I told him I was like, every year on our not the anniversary, but every 52 weeks, you're gonna be on the show. So that's what we're gonna do.
Nice.
When it gets to that point.
Yeah, you're creating your culture.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm just excited I've been able to make the friends that I've had in the industry. Like if I see you, I know, like I said it earlier, and I sound like
What's
a
your
broken
name
record. Yeah. Jonathan.
On your guys'
Or Mike.
Yeah.
On your anniversary.
Yeah.
You expect non-smart ass remarks.
Oh, yeah.
Is that what you're saying?
It's because of the Angels. I'm just kidding, John.
You're a Braves fan.
That's all right.
But you're in the playoffs.
I don't even know how the Braves are doing. You
Angel
know what?
fan.
Yeah, this is probably Because I mean, I told myself after last year, I was like, I'm not gonna let sports run my life anymore. So, dude, like the Braves are playing right now.
Well, yeah, because you're in the playoffs all the time.
No, but I haven't checked the score once.
Oh, I think they lost.
I mean, no, it just started at 5:30. I mean, they might be down by like 8 or 9. They're losing by 3. Oh yeah, there you go.
Are the Padres winning?
Yeah,
they are. Good.
That's right. We had a rookie pitching today. We had like nobody.
Yeah, I have some friends down in San Diego from college time, so I tend to root for Padres because Angels can't make the playoffs. So
but honestly, though, Petco is one of my favorite baseball stadiums.
It is a great stadium.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
it is a great stadium.
All right. So before we finish up, I'll ask one last question. Is there maybe a lesser known fact about each of your breweries that maybe like a fun fact about the brewery that or each of your breweries that you'd like to share? If not, I can cut this out. So,
well, I mean, I'm in a 1923 Bank of America building.
Yeah,
it is historical. Most people know the reason why it's historical is Richard Nixon had his first law office upstairs.
Mm-hmm.
Most of the people in this room know who Richard Nixon is.
Yeah,
75% of the people that come here drink a beer don't know who Richard Nixon is.
I'm not a crook.
So I tend to just kind of call the place the old Bank of America building.
There you go.
That is basement all underneath us. The original, well, at least one of the original bank vault doors is still down there, but it's been made into different rooms.
Gotcha.
Which we don't want to talk about because that was during the nightclub days. But it's still down there.
Maybe some extracurricular activities happen.
Black, don't take a black.
Some people were born,
Don't take a black light.
Yeah, looks like a Jackson Pollock painting down there.
Oh.
I'm just kidding. That was a joke.
But yeah, that's my lesser known but well known fact about this place.
All right.
Yeah, I think most people don't know that we built that. We just got the shell. So every detail of that place we had to build out.
I remember seeing when you gutted it out.
Yeah.
I was like,
it was literally a shell.
Yeah.
And people walk in, they're like, they think that it's been there for, I don't know how many years. And that just wasn't the case. A lot of blood, sweat, and many, many tears.
I bet.
To make that happen.
I still cry at my place.
Yeah, oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I don't think I asked you, Abraham, so I'll ask you now. The meat market part, like, when did that become a thought? Like, oh, we're going to make it like a speakeasy.
Yeah, so we had to pivot a few times because of city guidance, let's call it. And other factors.
Yeah.
And so one of the things that we wanted to do is just something off the wall, right?
Okay.
And so this concept came up of, well, let's try this speakeasy thing. And the advantage that we have is because my partners work in the food distribution world, they're able to access the tomahawks and the Kobe's and the Wagyus and these, really high-end, nice cuts of meats. And so to bring that to our hometown, because all of us live here in Whittier, and sell it, it's at a price that's going to be much cheaper than if you go to, the West Side in Beverly Hills or these other places like an Arrow One, right?
Yeah.
Like, that was something that we wanted to bring to the community.
Yeah.
And so that's sort of how it came about. And so, it just kept going and going with, all right, so if we do sort of like a meat market in the front, let's do a meat market door. And then if it's closed, then that'll be like the host. And then the speakeasy idea was born, right?
Okay.
It wasn't originally like, we're going to have a speakeasy. No, it kind of grew into that because of, as I said, some of these influences, as well as just trying to offer the community, if they want to, it's something different, right? If you want to buy a tomahawk, go to my place, buy a tomahawk, you grill it at home, right? Or you could eat it at my place. Or if you want to buy a Kobe or Wagyu, whatever it may be. So marinated chicken, all that good stuff. So yeah, that's how it came about.
As you talk about that, as I think about what you said, you're coming up on 3 years,
right?
Was it about 2 years ago you started seeing all these other higher end meat markets shop popping up?
Yep.
Where they get that idea from? Where they get that thought?
Carniceria and Pico.
Yeah. Right.
So you had you have something
like
you have something going on. Yeah.
We're like, what?
Tomahawks, right? Even Stater Brothers is now carrying tomahawks. I'm like,
like, I got 2 words for you. I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's another,
another little tidbit. Yeah.
What was your? It was the optometry building, right?
Building. That's right. I had people that used to work there,
That's
came
a
in.
big optometry.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you could sell a lot of glasses.
There's a lot of stuff going into a lot of people's eyes in that thing.
A lot of glasses out of that place.
There you go.
We had the old coworkers that walked in and they were just floored.
Yeah, I bet.
They couldn't recognize.
Yeah.
Wow.
The restroom used to be there, and our office was there, and
Do you want to hear how stupid I was as a kid? So I was like maybe 5 or 6 years old. And like my mom would take us, like, because my doctor, when I was a kid, I guess pediatrician at that point, we would come up Philadelphia, and I'm like, oh wait, we're in Philadelphia right now. And then we'd come up to like Penn, Street, and I was like, wait, Penn State, because I loved football, so that was like how I associated. I was like, wait, where's the college? But I was a little kid. I didn't really know, but I still dumbass, right? Like I did not know where Philadelphia is across the country. Thought it was just across Whittier Boulevard. Classic. I think we'll end it with that.
I mean, even I don't even have a smart ass remark for that one.
Yeah. I mean, I was 5. God damn it. I'm sorry. Sorry, Lord. All right. Well, thank you guys again.
Of course.
Shout out to Nathan. Also, shout out to the people that couldn't be here. Augie, Adrian from Breweria. They have 2 locations. They're in Pico. They're in Chula Vista. But thank you guys for being here.
of course,
Yeah, anytime.
Always, anytime you have something coming out, me. Abraham decided not to tell me about the New Zealand
I
IPA.
was waiting for your
Zealand.
anniversary, so it could be special.
Okay, there it is. might be a few months old at that point. No, but thank you guys again. This has been fun, and this has been fun, and it's always a great time hanging out with you guys.
Yeah, likewise.
Sure. Yeah.
Cheers, fellas.
Cheers.
And cheers to Mike.
Cheers, Mike. Home brewer.
Oh, you're a home brewer? Nice. Well, okay, real quick, what's your first homebrew recipe? Oh, come over here though.
Oh, here.
Oh,
there you go.
maybe my first home recipe.
Yeah. What was your first homebrew recipe? And
Yeah, first beer you made.
yeah.
The first beer I made was the IPA.
Okay.
Bought it off of Amazon, actually.
First good beer that you made.
Oh, that one.
Hey-o.
What's that one? Confident. The Common? Yeah, I made a
California
Kentucky
Common?
Common. No, Kentucky Common.
Oh, Kentucky
Oh.
Common. Ooh.
And it was a great beer. And
Nice.
I actually made it again, but I lost it due to faulty equipment.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm going to make it again.
There you
My
go.
very first was, I think it was a Mosaic IPA.
Nice.
I think I bought it off of...
Didn't blow up in your closet like Abraham's?
It did not. It did not. It was actually very good.
That's awesome,
You
man.
didn't have like 7 carboys in your hallway at 2 a.m. bubbling
Yeah.
away.
Yeah,
keeping you
I can
awake
see
at night.
Janet walking in, just beating up on Abraham after. Oh man,
I once had a 5-gallon oak barrel that we tried to do a little like secondary fermentation, and we thought it was finished.
No.
So it fermented hard, and I just had it out there. So I just had a cork in it, no blow off or anything. Thinking I'll just let that sit for a year. And 2 o'clock in the morning, like gunshot.
Oh,
That's what it sounded
oh
like.
shit.
Like it popped and everywhere in the apartment.
Yeah.
Dang.
And I was like, and what pissed me off the whole time, I couldn't find the cork. I never found the cork.
Dang.
I don't know if it exploded. Don't know, but never found it. This was when I was brewing, 3 of my other friends.
No.
And they were all coming over. I was cleaning, and I was like, whatever. It smells like beer. It smells like beer always all the time in my apartment. And I was like, and I told them, like, I can't find the cork. They were all under the couch, all through the couch. Never found it.
Dang.
Wow. Yeah, that's funny. So I understand exploding beer.
All right, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Like I said, it's always a good time talking to John, Nathan, and Abraham. Some just really great guys in this industry, and can't say enough good things about them. So, I mean, if you're in any of those areas, or if you're in the Pico area, you're Montebello or Whittier or anything like that, you owe it to yourself to go to all the locations. And even Brujeria, Augie and Adrian couldn't make it, but you definitely got to check their place out. Maybe you'll run into Loser Fun. That's one of his local watering holes. So definitely, check out those places. We always want to support small business, support local, drink local, all that good stuff. All right. Let's jump into the polls this week. First poll was, how many different breweries have you been to this year? The biggest answer, 53% of the vote, was 10 to 20. Let's see here. And then 28% for 20 to 30 breweries. 11% for 40 to 50, and 8% with 50 or more. Here's where I fall in the whole thing. I'm right around the 40 to 50 range. I'm probably teetering to like just right around 50, maybe a little bit more. Even Morgan, I ain't lie about it. Morgan's been to today we're going to a brewery. We're going to Salty Bear over in Costa Mesa, and that'll be her 30th brewery. And I've only had her since April. I've had her since April 20th, so it's been about little less than 6 months. Yeah, and yeah, she's closing in on 30, or about to hit 30 today. Let's see here. The next one was hockey season is back. Any hockey fans out there? 73% of the vote said yes. 27% of the vote said no. You guys don't know what you're missing. Hockey's fucking for that 27%. Hockey's so fun, and I would suggest going to a game because it's like, I mean, I love watching it on TV, but going to a game it's such a blast. It's a really good time, and I feel like that's when you really kind of get into it. But I mean, teach his own. But definitely, and go to if you're in the LA area and you're not a Kings fan, or if you want to go to the Kings game, you can, or go to a Ducks game. Ducks games might be a little cheaper, so might save your money that way, just as an intro to see if you like it. So, all right, questions for this week. The Geeks Who Drink question of the week was, what people invented beer? And the options were the Sumerians, the Egyptians, or the Chinese. So, let's see, 233 votes for the Sumerians, 291 votes for the Egyptians, and 55 votes for the Chinese. It was the Sumerians. The Chinese did invent some, not invent, some of the earliest things that they found that was like an alcohol recipe, but it was for like a mead. It wasn't beer. But the Sumerians did create beer. One of the ones I asked was, what was your favorite brewery you've been to this year? I've had actually quite a few people say Bergen. Another couple said Bierstadt. There was about 10 or 11 that said Noble. Black Plague Brewery from Hoppy Endings. I was in Beer Geek 808, Hanakoa, Chew, Campfire and Campsite. Brewdette, West Virginia, Bunnyman Brewing in Fairfax. I think Nick sent me one from Bunnyman, I want to say. Correct me if I'm wrong, Nick. I want to say you sent me one from Bunnyman, but I don't remember exactly. Outer Range, La Bodega, Evans, which I'm actually we're trying to work out something. I need to get over there soon so I can go record. I actually just locked up Common Space. We're going to be recording on November 4th. I think it's a Monday. And so I'm going to go record with them. 10 Mile was one. Shadow Grove. Let's see. What else? There was a bunch. There's Rad. I saw Shred. Whittier. Let's see. I'm trying to go through all of them. But there was a lot of the same ones. Rip was on there as well. Highland Park and Green Cheek and Ism. All right. Well, I think that's... Oh, no, there was one more question, wasn't there? I forgot. It was, what year did Surge come out? And then when I say Surge, I mean the soda. It says, when did the soda get released? December 20th, 1998, February 7th, 1997, or June 4th, 1998? And the answer was February 7th, 1997. I was like, dang. I used to love that soda, though. That shit was bomb. It was like between that and Vault. I think Vault was kind of like a really popular one, but it was good. All right, guys. Well, I am going to have some breakfast, and then I am going to go to Salty Bear when they open up, have a few brewskis, try it out. All right, Tap Fam. Well, I hope you guys have a great week. We've got some NFL going on today, so hopefully if you guys got any bets, take the over, baby. And, man, support local, drink local, find your beer. Cheers, Tap Fam.